All right. So last week I didn't get to open any set boosters because lots of people ordered set boosters at my store, which was, open since August. Small store, tiny store. I've said it before. There's been a few people who have bought boxes, let alone, told me they wanted them before release. I try to pre-order. I don't do pre-orders at my store. I don't know if I ever will, just because it adds sort of a element in which bad feelings could happen. And obviously as the store, you want to make sure that your customers are happy, as happy as you can make them. And pre-orders kind of throw a monkey wrench into that if something happens during the release, basically. Like if prices go down and they've paid more and now they want to get out of it, obviously you let them out of it, but I mean, you're kind of on the hook for those boxes, so maybe you start to have bad feelings about it. Or the fact that they have to come in and ask for a refund because they've paid up front, it's already creating a, not an adversarial relationship, but it's adding a point in that direction. So you kind of want to avoid that. And then, on the store side, I guess if prices go way up in the market or whatever, and there's no MSRP, and you want to be able to sell boxes for maximum, that doesn't bother me so much. Like if someone pre-ordered it beforehand, it would mean more to me that they gave me an indication that they wanted it, so that I ordered it. That's the main thing, is that you want to know that what you ordered, someone's going to buy it, because otherwise it's going to sit there and it's going to be sort of a lodestone for you. So you want to avoid pre-orders, although every single store does it because they need this cash flow situation to be continually churning, even though it bites them in the ass all the time. And as a brand new store, I can't afford to have it bite me in the ass. So I'm avoiding it for now. And, it might be forever, but, maybe once I'm, churning out 100 or more boxes, maybe I will do pre-orders, but I might do it more. There's another store in Ontario, probably one of the largest game stores in Canada, and I think they do it right, and I might as well just mention their name, even though, obviously we're competitors, but I've bought from them in the past and I really like them. So 401 Games, it seems to me that they do pre-order. I mean, I know they do pre-orders, but it looks to me, from what I can understand, that they're not putting in their whole order as a pre-order, meaning that they know and have been doing this for so many years, and this is how stores should handle it if they're going to be doing pre-orders, and I don't know if most stores do. Let me know if you're another store and this is how you handle it. But instead of selling the entire thing that you've ordered, knowing that you could get heavily allocated at any moment, even though maybe the last 6 sets there was almost no allocation, but there's going to be a point where there's going to be a heavy allocation, and instead of getting 100 boxes, you're now getting 20, but you've pre-ordered for 50, and now you got to tell your customers, I don't got it. And some of them are going to suspect that maybe you're selling it on the secondary market, because at that point usually that's when prices rise. So that's where especially the bad blood comes from. So instead, I think a good game store would allocate themselves for the pre-order. Meaning, instead of you order 100 boxes, you guesstimate what happens if I get heavily allocated. I'll get 10, so I'll pre-order 10. That still gives you an indication of interest, especially if people are still asking about it and you've sold out your pre-orders. So that's I guess if you got to do pre-orders, that's a good way of going about it. And maybe if I do pre-orders in the future, I might. But what happened with this is, I just tell the customers, I'm like, yeah, you've been coming here for Friday Night Magic, and you want a box. I have enough boxes, so I'm telling you, you're getting a box. But if something happens, like, I don't know, their pay was short, or they are switching jobs, or something came up that they can't come in and buy that box now, or maybe they want to hang on to it, or they just want to cancel it altogether. Now you don't have to give them a refund. You can just say, don't worry about it. It's on me. And then, if they did it like 2, 3 times in a year, then they don't have the option of you holding a box for them anymore. They'll get a box if you have a box, basically, right? And I think that's a better way of dealing with it, because they know where they stand, right? They know that they ordered stuff and then left you holding the bag, so they can't be upset that you're not gonna, hold on to a box for them for a big, cool set that they want. Now you could negotiate and say, hey, you let me hold the bag 3 times this year. I'm gonna let you have this box, but just don't do this anymore. Maybe that's, a way of dealing with the situation. At least I think so. So in any case, because so many people had asked for set boxes beforehand, and I was just getting the regular order that I was getting, which is, at this point, being a tiny store, it's like a case of each of the different SKUs, right? Extras for the boxes of Commanders, like two cases of Commander precons. So I didn't want to open a set booster on the off chance that people wanted the set boosters, right? And that happened to be a good decision, because I opened the set booster Saturday morning like I normally would have last week, when the guy who said that he wanted a box came in with 2 of his friends who split on a box. There might not have been a box there for them. So congratulate me in the comments. So I'm now opening the set box of Ixalan, and I mentioned last week when I was doing the draft box that I didn't guess that there was going to be a lot of demand for this product, but people like dinosaurs more than I thought. I mean, I guess the Jurassic Park movies should have told me that. So now I'm opening set boosters, and I don't think this is the last set with set boosters, or maybe it is, because the first set with the new play boosters, where draft and set boosters are disappearing, is Karloff Manor. And I don't think there's set boosters in Ravnica, so this might be the last set boosters we're getting. Where's the brass tail grinder? Don't know. I do like the pirate theme, definitely, and there's merfolk in here. I'm happy for the professor that he's getting his merfolk in. But the dinosaurs, I mean, I do have an Allosaurus Shepherd. I don't know how important that is to dinosaurs. I mean, you can play an Elf Dork deck with lots of dinosaurs, I guess. Just a chair here. Again, I didn't really know that, sorry, I didn't know that we're going to be flipped cards in here. Last week I discovered that. I'm glad. I like those cards, especially when they're land. I just think it's really helpful to have cards that can be land or something else or other land on the side. Restless Prairie comes on the battlefield tapped, so it's probably not the greatest. I haven't seen a lot of crazy treatments in this box yet. I haven't opened the collector's box. I wonder if they've toned it down a little, or just right now I'm not getting anything super wild and out of control. Just the endless amounts of different treatments. Oh, Enigma Jewel. It enters tapped? It's a mythic that enters tapped. That's weird. It might be good. I don't remember hearing about that one, so probably it's not that great. Hidden Necropolis. Huh. That's some neat art. Haven't even bothered sorting out stuff yet. I'm just really, instead of sorting all the cards, I'm just gonna pull out what I think is a hit. That's some cool foiling there. I like that. A sword blocking lightning, I guess. I don't think it's casting the lightning. Whatever. Volcano. Huh. It's funny because I don't know if I mentioned this in the other box opening that I started listening to. One of my favorite podcasts is from Tom Holland and one of the other guy. Tom Holland is one of my favorite historians. I've got a couple of his books, and they started a series on Cortez, and it was pretty interesting because I didn't know that much about Cortez. Huh. That's probably useful. Throwing a Grim Captain. Ooh. This swamp is kind of nice, but I don't know if they're any special. Ooh, this is... it's an uncommon, or is that a... No, it's a common, I guess. But it's a legendary creature. Goblin Warlock. People like goblins, and that's a neat little treatment on the goblin. And this... Okay, so they do have different treatments, and lots of different treatments. This is my least favorite treatment, because it kind of looks special, but in comparison to other things, it's not as wild. I kind of wish that they would just maybe change this kind of frame with coloring of this kind of frame instead of doing the swoopy. That's just my preference. That's neat. Anyway, so now that we're well into Ixalan, what did you get, and what were you looking for? What are you expecting at Ixalan, and are you glad that it's going to be a while for another set to come out, because we're not getting anything in December, and we're not getting anything until Ravnica? That's cool art. I really like that. So do you like this new wizard slowing down so we don't have to constantly be on a release cycle? And I mean, for a store, it means, you got to churn and burn. Basically, you got to get rid of as much as possible within a week because there's the signature card. Are they still like just $5 on eBay? Yeah, so for a store dealing with the release, and I haven't been dealing with it nearly as much as all the other stores, yeah, the fact that you're not even partway through selling one set and another set's already coming out and you're on the hook for a bunch of money. This explains why a lot of people are, especially with Commander Masters, basically taking a loss on it because the cash flow thing, which I don't agree with this cash flow thing, like needing basically churn and burn. I don't know, it doesn't seem like a good idea to me, but what do I know? I'm a tiny store and I've only just started doing this kind of thing and doing retail. I'm mostly, I ran call centers and I was a truck driver, so logistics and customer service are sort of my expertise career-wise. So, I mean, I guess I'm no one. Oh, this nice little foil treatment of Scytheclaw Raptor. Scytheclaw Raptor? Whatever. Belligerent Yearling. Yeah, so I may not know what I'm talking about when I'm disliking the cash flow situation, which let me explain a little bit better for anyone that doesn't know. So let's say, I don't know, you spend $100,000 on a set, and you might put that on some sort of debt, meaning a credit card or like some access to capital thing that you have, and then you sell a whole bunch of it, as much as you can, and then you put that money back on whatever debt you had, or if you had cash on hand, that's even better. You're doing pretty great if you've got that kind of cash on hand. But if you put it on a credit card, it's because you try to get the 3%, right, and then avoid the interest by paying it off immediately. But you then turn around and immediately use that for the next big set that comes out, right? And With Magic, it was just constant. So if there's other games that you also got to do that to, now you need another, separate round of cash flow instead of just using the same cash flow that churns and burns. But either way, I don't see how, you're constantly moving that money around, and you might make a mistake, and a set might not do well, and suddenly now there's going to be interest, and it's going to be a lot of interest, and now you're behind because you didn't have the cash on hand to do it. If you've got like a cash reserve and you're just using the margin to gain the 3% cash back or something like that, but you have sitting somewhere that cash to cover immediately, then sure, seems great. But most stores aren't doing that, from what I understand, and this is how they get into trouble. And then it happens once or twice, and depending on the size of the store, now they've collapsed. They've either got to sell to someone, they've got to basically sell it everything, and then the store might close down, and then you've lost your LGS. It's not your fault. I mean, you're just buying what you're buying. Lord of Atlantis, nice. That's a nice little merfolk hit for the professor. So, it's not their, it is their fault, but I mean, everyone's doing it, and it's kind of, the way that things have been going, kind of seems like the best idea, and maybe they don't have any other good ideas. They're doing the best they can, and obviously you as a customer, it's not your responsibility to keep the store, capitalized. Although when I was buying from my local store, I guess plug another store that's not mine, but Jackson Queen, I really like that store. If you go there, let them know I sent you. They're in Elmvale, and I mean, I don't know if I was the biggest customer they had, but I was going in there once a month or once every 2 months, spending about $1,000 for periods of time, and then maybe 6 months would go by where I wouldn't. So, I mean, it's not like I was a reliable source of income for them, but I certainly, when it briefly was called Alpha Strike, I certainly was, buying stock that they hadn't been able to move in a bit, and they needed the cash to buy new stuff for like Warhammer or something like that, and I'm sure I helped. So, it's always good to have customers like that, but again, it's not your responsibility to do that, right? It's the store's responsibility. I mean, you like helping out your store, that's fine, but you don't have to, right? It's your money. But then, if there aren't enough customers, then, buying enough product, or they're just doing all their purchasing online, they're coming in and playing in the store, well, eventually that store is going to fail. Again, not the responsibility of the customer, but if you want your store to be there, then that's the way that it's there, by buying from that store, at least time to time, instead of, you want to save money online, it's understandable. But, I mean, short of TCG players, there's really not, and maybe eBay, there's really not a trustworthy place to get things. I mean, okay, so the big stores that are in your region that have websites, sure, they're probably trustworthy, but Amazon is not. There's just, you've seen too many times of repacked stuff on Amazon, and too many times it hasn't been 100 times, it's maybe been a handful of times that we've seen videos of this, but that's too much, right? Because you don't want your stuff repacked, right? And it's a really shitty feeling when that happens, so, Gordon writes, Scytheclaw Raptor. Another one of those, huh? No signature. Move this over to the side. Anyway, let me know about your store. What do you think about the store you go to? And, let me interrupt that with this. That's some nice art and framing. I like it. That's a flip card too. Less interesting on the back, but it is a land, so, So yeah, let me know about your store, how well it's doing, and your philosophy of how to deal with the store and where you buy from and, you know, how you view things. Because just because I'm saying it doesn't mean I'm necessarily right. Right? I'm just a guy on YouTube. You may not be a guy on YouTube or a gal on YouTube, but you are a guy or gal, and your opinion is just as valid as anyone else's. Even if you don't necessarily run a tiny store, a big store, a medium store, or any store, but it's your money. So that makes it, you're the only person that can determine how you spend your money and what is the proper way to spend your money. So I guess plug all the stores in the comments. My store's in the doobly-doo below. I guess that's probably the first time I've plugged the store, besides talking about it. There's a signature card. $5. Get out of here. Magmatic Galleon. I'm still not on board with vehicles. And that was a pun. Was it a good pun? No. Well, we're almost through this. Did you see anything that I got that you wanted? Did you see anything that I missed that I should have gone apeshit over? No? Yeah, we've gotten this a couple times. The goblin, or some of the goblins just all kind of look alike. And that's not racist. Well, I guess it is. But at least goblins aren't a protected group. Yet. We should, I mean, you gotta give goblins some love. Don't leave them out in the cold. But, yeah. Got 2 packs to go. Ooh, that's really nice. It's a god. What's on the back? Land. So is it gods with lands? Oh, that's nice too. Is it gods with lands on the back? Is that what we're doing? Or is it just a coincidence? Because that actually is kind of cool. It gives you the option, like early game, you want the land, late game, you want the god. Matt Salanti. Did I just sigh on camera? I swear guys, I'm not bored. I work 80 hours a week, so bear with me. If it seems like I'm losing my train of thought, it's probably not because I don't get enough sleep, because I get 8 hours of sleep at night. It's just that means, because I also prioritize sleep, it means that I don't, oh, this guy. I have this guy from Commander Legends, wasn't it? Or is he a different version? Oh, this, is it just a different version of that cool commander? Because this one doesn't say that he can be a companion. Anyway, yeah. That's cool. And that's it for the set box. Let me know. Oh, that's not it for the set box. So anyone that stayed after I said that's it for the set box and didn't close down the window gets a treat. I don't know how important these box toppers are, but we'll see what we get. Ever-flowing chalice. It's an uncommon. It looks good. All right. So now that's it. Let me know what you liked about the video, what you didn't like about the video, and I guess I'll do a collector box next.